Tonight's class, class 2, we're going to focus on 3 applications from Google. Sheets, which is like Excel, Google Slides, which is like PowerPoint, and then Google Forms, which really isn't like anything. It's just a way that you can pose questions to end users and get the answers back all in one place. So we'll do those 3. So the first thing, I'm just going to touch on the spreadsheet, Google Sheets. And the spreadsheet there could be a whole class in Google Sheets. It can do very complicated things. I just want you to understand a few differences or things that it can do. So the first thing is there'll be with this demo file that you're going to open up. And I'm going to talk about this, and you're actually going to use this for your homework. Now, the first thing is you won't be able to edit this because this is my file in my Google Drive. What you would have to do is go to File, and the video that explains the assignment does this, but just to make sure, you would make a copy. It always comes this, and what I'd like you to do, if I'm giving you files, just put your name somewhere in. So now I know it's this, well, nice misspelling there. I know it's still the demo of Sheets, but it'll be your version that you've done the work on. Now you go here. Now this thing is saved in my drive. You would have to navigate your way. There'd be a couple hours to get you out of my drive, and then it would save it into your drive. And if you have your drive structured with folders, you can put it into a folder. But I just want to make my copy here so that I can edit this thing. Okay, and it always pop up with a new one. You close the one that you made the copy of, and now you're going to, this is the name we gave it, and now this thing will be fully editable. So now this is a blank spreadsheet. Essentially, it's a grade sheet that would be used for 6 students in a class. There's tests. This one calculates the average of the test, and then there's these critiques that they have to do, and then this is the final grade. So the basic thing that I want you to get out of Excel is there's 2 things. And again, the next video specifically goes over everything. But number 1, this number here is just a number. It appears, when I click it up here, it's the number 90. I could change it to the number 80 if I wanted to. You know, it's just a pure number that I typed in. Here, this is a formula, and what the formula does is it takes the value in cell B3, which there isn't one yet, divides it by the value in B17, and the next video will explain what these 2 dollar signs do, why this has dollar signs and this doesn't, and then divides them and multiplies by 100. So if I put a number in here, so the test had 90 points, let's scored 75 out of 90, so I put that number in, it automatically calculates their average in. So if I get rid of it, the average goes. So these are already preset to when I enter values in for the student scores, it's going to be calculated immediately. Now the deal is here, like I don't have an average thing here. So what I could do if I wanted to is I could take this formula and copy it into as many cells as I want, either horizontally or vertically. So let me just show you that. And again, I do it in the next video as well. But so if I select a cell and move the cursor, notice it turns to a crosshair. If I click, hold, and drag across, it'll copy the formula here into these 2 cells. Well, this cell is going to go a test grade, so I don't want the formula, so I'll just delete it. But here, notice what happens. The B that was this formula, telling me to look here for this student, over here now becomes a D, so it's telling me to look here. But the test score, the B, doesn't change. So the problem is, or what the issue is that the dollar signs keep the value that it points to in whatever cell constant, even if I drag along, where when you don't have the dollar signs, the value will change accordingly. Now, obviously, I don't want to take this number and divide it by this test because the values are different. So if I wanted to make this right, I would have to go in and make this D17. And now the formula would take the score in D3, divide it by the test score in D17. Now the cool thing is, where it works really well, if I go down, copy down, I always like to go here because if you're taking the score and dividing it by itself, you're going to have 100%. Now, a lot of these things are not needed, so I'm just going to delete them to make it look. So now, there's D3 over D17. Now notice, D5 over D17, so it's going to take this score and divide it. So you can see how the dollar signs play. When I drag down to fill the cells, the value changes to the appropriate cell, but the denominator, because it has the dollar sign, stays the same. So essentially, this is the spreadsheet, and I'm going to, again, the next video goes through everything, and it'll show you all this in great detail. But the idea is that I want you to make this spreadsheet. Again, notice it's the, all I did was have you fill in values. But the deal is that some of these values, like the test scores, they are just pure numbers. Then the averages are calculated based upon that. So I want you, some of these you're going to have to drag down and fill in the averages. So when you click into the cell, you would see the formula as opposed to the just being a number. I don't want you to just type all these numbers. Some will be numbers like the test scores, and some will be. And the video here explains all this in a slightly more detail. So that's the first thing. It's the basics of sheets. And again, just like always, there's some video tutorials. This one's really long, but it's got great details if you're interested more in sheets. These are some other ones, but I think, and text-based, but I think this shows you everything you need to do to complete this assignment. And then there's some extra if you wanted more, sometimes it's good to have a different person's overview of sheets. Second part of this, and I'll keep this simple, is going to be Google Slides. Essentially, you're going to create a PowerPoint slideshow or a Google slideshow. We're going to put text and pictures on a page, change the background colors, we'll insert links, we'll insert videos, we'll put animations, and we'll transition. So it's really pretty easy. I'll take you through that as part of our class. Here's some text-based and video-based help. I think I put some more. And again, this is my interpretation of slides just going through, but then there's some more. These both are mine. And then there's some stuff from the internet that I found. This person's pretty good. That will help you. Assignment number 2. You can read this, but it's just a simple slideshow. And I'm going to ask you to present this later on, and you'll know more about that. I think it's either class 4 where you're going to present this to the class for us. And then the last one is Google Forms, which these tutorials will help you go through. But basically, you can create questions. You can send the form out, have the person answer the questions, and you'll get the results back. And again, same deal. There's some video-based help. There's text-based, video-based. And then this I'm going to start to do where these are combinations of text and videos, specific things in the application. So you'll be able to get plenty of help. And here's some extras. And this would be your assignment, just to create a Google form, at least 5 questions, very simple. And you'll share the file with me. This is a PDE assignment. These are the Pennsylvania Department of Education. So this will be separate from what we're doing in class, but I have to make sure I give you enough assignment time outside of class. So I want you to find 3 different websites you could use to teach with. create a Google Doc with the link of each website, paste it into the document. Below the link, write a paragraph or two that explains why you do or don't like the website, what you liked about it, what you thought you didn't like, and then elaborate on how you think you could use that website to teach students. And they can be any topic, any, but I want you to sort of try to start zeroing in on teaching a little bit. So this will be our second PDE assignment. Share this with me, and then you're going to share one of the websites with in class 4. So in class 4, I'm going to ask you to share one of your Google Slides that you created, and also share one of these classes or one of these websites that you found. So that's sort of what we're going to focus on for tonight's class.